Hey everyone. Today I've been streaming again, and since Scorch was requested in one of my YouTube comments, I was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. And I remember there was one funny deck in beta which I really liked, and it's the Scorch deck. So I was looking for a good Scorch deck. I found one, I adapted it a bit, and now we have been scorching people left and right today on the stream. It was really fun. So I thought like, yeah, let's make a deck guide about it. And here we are. So enjoy and subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and let's get right into it. So this deck has two win conditions. First is the whole Elven Swarm archetype, and the second one is burn them all for Shirru and Scorch. So depending on which deck you face, you need to adapt a bit, and this is also the most tricky part of this deck, because if you don't know what the enemies are playing, it's hard to time your Scorch and Shirru right. So before you play this deck, make sure you have at least seen a lot of the decks of the meta and play against, otherwise you may run a bit into trouble. Anyway, I'll start with the deck, and let's start with the Elven Swarm part, because they are like elves are the most prominent feature of the deck. So of course we have the scenario in there. It's pretty decent. Not a lot of people run artifact removal, even though scenarios are pretty prominent, so you can get them, you can get the scenario out quite early, quite easily. And the good thing is, if you play in round 1 and you have the Saber, you can actually play 2 elves in a round easily, so you can already trigger chapter 1 immediately after triggering the prologue, which helps you with tempo, but which also helps you to, in case this actually gets destroyed, so you didn't lose a lot of value. So what this does is actually it floods your board with Elven Deadeye. You get 3 just from the scenario alone, and then you get Waylay, which means as long as you hit something with 3, as long as you death blow it, you spawn another Elven Deadeye. So this gives you up to 4 Elven Deadeyes, which is especially good for cards which rely on having a lot of elves on the board. And these cards are Isengrim. Isengrim boosts a lot of elf units by 1, and then whenever you play another elf after that, he boosts himself by 1. So this is kind of like the finisher you want to play after you have a lot of Elven Deadeyes on the board, which is a second reason, but we come to that when we talk about Shirru. The second card, which is really good swarm-wise, is Yevon. For every other elf unit you have on the board, you are able to deal 1 damage to an enemy. So you want to play these cards after you already established some elves on the board. You don't necessarily need the scenario, which is why you typically want to swarm kind of 2 times. You want to swarm once with the scenario, you want to swarm without the scenario, with cards like Waylay on yourself, with cards like where do we have him? There he is, like the Half of Hunter, which gives you 2 elves on the board right away. So those are cards you want to play kind of separately, so you have the power of the swarm on each of the rounds you're going to play it. Then we have Vernosia, which also uses your Elven Deadeyes, because either she just puts you 2 Elven Deadeyes on the board, which again is synergy with the other cards, or you actually use your melee deployability. Typically, to be honest, I don't use it too often because it just damages random enemies, and if you line up Scorch, this can actually hurt you. And often you don't have that many Deadeyes on you, so I often use her just as a finisher in round 3, as like my second or last play even, with the range ability to just put an elf point unit onto the board. You just get the 5-point body from here, plus the 2 3-point bodies of the Elven Deadeyes. So this is why she's really good as a finisher, or like in a short run push. But if you have a lot of Deadeyes, you can use her ability and you will get a lot of points as well. Then we have Adoran, it's just my favorite. Adoran, it just jumps out of the deck as soon as you have more than 5 elves on the board. You want to typically get her out in round 1. Basically, she helps you to win round 1 where you otherwise would not be able to win round 1. And it's very easy to get her out because of the Saber you have. But sometimes you are able to hold back on the elves a bit, and especially if the enemy outpowers you easily in round 1, then just hold back on the elves, and if the enemy tries to push you in round 2, then you get Adoran out in round 2 to use the additional tempo to counter push and get the card up. So she saves you quite often. Pro tip, if you actually want to play the scenario, and tempo matters a lot, and this only gives you free tempo because it just spawns a 3-point Elven Deadeye on the row, but if you already have 4 elves, then it's a good time to play the scenario, because that will trigger Illirin, because the Elven Dead Eye is the 5th elf on the board. So you get 5 additional tempo. So this plays as an 8-point tempo play, and that's typically enough to stay ahead. So if you need a tempo, play this when you have 4 elves on the board. Then we have Ida. It's one of the Purify units, so try to get in the deck because Purify is really good stat currently. Melee, you Purify, and if you don't have something to Purify, you can use her for a 4-point Vitality tick, which is pretty decent as well. We already talked about Half of Hunter, spawns an Elven Dead Eye into this row. Harmony tech is very useless here, but as I said, gives you 2 elves, which is decent. Waylay, one of the good offensive cards we have, damages an enemy unit by 3. On death blow, you spawn an Elven Dead Eye, so it's free, and you get a 3-point body, which is an elf. And thanks to our Precision Strike ability, we also can use it to set up these 3-point death blows. Typically, you don't want to use it with Waylay, but with other cards or with lining up Scorches. But if you need it, you can do it. Archer is just to set up Scorches, which we come to later. So let's quickly talk more about elves for a second. We have the Riot Saboteur, boost an elf in your hand by 2. So this can give you a bit of carry over and just puts an elf body on the board, and searches as well with the Elven War Dancer. So if you have War Dancer on hand and you boost it, it does 2 more damage if it comes down on the field. So this can actually then become an 8-point unit, which is pretty decent for a bronze card. Then we have 1 Blue Mountain Elite, which is 6 on its own, but it's very limited in its condition, so you cannot switch this out for another War Dancer. I kind of like it to keep it in, because if you play against Northern Realms, 3 is exactly enough to kill the engines, so this is why I like it to have them in the deck. And now let's look at the other part of the deck, which is the Scorch part. We have Scorch. There we have it. It just destroys the highest units. How you want to play Scorch is you don't want to hit 1 unit with it, you always want to hit 2 units with it, so try to use either your Precision Strike ability or your other elf cards to bring them on the same level. Maybe the enemy has engines that line up at some point, so calculate before when you probably want to have Scorch, so you can already set up the engines and put them in a way so you can hit maybe 3 of them at once. So if you hit more than, I would say if you hit more than 12 points of Scorch is decent, but Scorch can go really high with 18 plus points as well, so pretty good card, especially if you line it up. The other Scorch card you have is Shirru. Shirru is a bit trickier because there are more cards around 3, and you also have like your Elven Dead Eyes, and some of your elves also plays 3, and since it destroys all the units with the same power, you really need to be sure that you hit more of the enemy than on your side. So when is Shirru good? Shirru is good in a round where I don't play the scenario at all, where I don't play elves at all. But if you need to play the scenario, you can also just play a lot of Elf Swarm, but then you need to keep Eisengrim in your hand because Eisengrim boosts all other elite elf units by 1. So you play Eisengrim before you play Shirru, that boosts your 3-point elves to a 4, then you can play Shirru safely. Otherwise, Shirru will hit you hard, and that's something you don't want to do. Same with Scorch as with Shirru, you need to be sure what the enemy plays. So for example, if the enemy plays an Elven deck, you probably don't want to keep Scorch to yourself, but you kind of want to keep Shirru to yourself because the enemy will have a lot of 3-point units as well. So you need to figure out the right time before the enemy plays Eisengrim so you can wipe his board and then you start putting your 3-point elves on the board, for example. While Scorch is good, for example, against boost decks like a Northern Realm engine boost deck, or against a Syndicate Horde deck, for example. So this is where you want to keep onto Scorch as a finisher. Generally, you want to have last say in the rounds for your Scorch cards as well. So try to win round 1, even like sacrifice your scenario if you have to. But last say is just so important, you don't want to sacrifice it. What cards do we have to lay up? Double of an Archer damages an enemy unit by 2, which is good. But the cool thing is that the ranged ability damages 2 units by 1. You can use it to set up like the Scorch or the Shirru, but you can also hit your own units with it. So if you have, like if you want to play a Scorch, but your biggest unit is like on the same level as the enemy's biggest unit, then you either use your lead ability or you use the double of an Archer to just damage 1 of your units by 1. So you can get it out of the range, which is pretty decent. Swordmaster helps you to set up Shirru. You just ping the enemy units down so you so they stay at 3, and at some point, if this sticks to the board, at some point you will have a lot of enemy 3-point enemy units. Often this is just a bait removal. It's also your only engine, so yeah, there we go. Stuff you don't want to have on your hand is Brocculent Sentinel, because what your lead ability does is it damages an enemy unit by 1 3 times, and after the 3rd time you spawn a Brocculent Sentinel. So you will spawn an extra Brocculent Sentinel, which damages an enemy unit by 2, and you always, when you use your last deal charge, you want to have a 2-point enemy unit on the board, so this Brocculent Sentinel that spawns can kill it and trigger the Deathflow ability, which summons all the other copies from the deck to the row, which means in addition to the damage you get from Precision Strike, you get 3 2-point bodies onto the board, which is also very good in run 3 if you just need the additional push. So this is why you always want to mulligan those away. You also want to mulligan Mountain Elite away typically, because you don't want to... Either you play it really early and you know you're going to play it very early, for example against Northern Realms, but as soon as enemy puts 2 units next to each other, this is just a 3-point body, and that's really, really shitty for you. Then we have one last card, we need to two last cards actually. We have Tainted Ale. Tainted Ale is a great card 4 and 3, especially when you plan to use Scorch or Shirru there, because it helps you to set up the enemies. For example, you have like, the enemy has 2 5-point units, you play Tainted Ale, suddenly they become 3-point units. Awesome. Therefore you have 2 more targets for Shirru. You can also use it to line up Scorch. And the last card is Matahuri. Matahuri is probably in every deck right now. It helps you to get your Scorch, since it's one of your key cards. It helps you to get Feign Death, or it can also help you to get Vernociel, as we said, which is a good burst card in run 3. So you typically want to play this in run 3 as well, so the enemy gets a shitty card, you know the deal, you get the good card, and everything is fine. So we talked a lot about it. I don't think the guide alone can teach you how to play this game, because it always comes down to when you want to play Scorch and Shirru. So that's you just learn this by playing against other decks and learn what their weak points are. I can only show you 2 matches now from today where we pulled this off in a really good way. I think we lost 1 game in stream today with this deck. We climbed 2 ranks with it. So all the other games were wins. So let's just look into it, like how I played today, and maybe you can take something away from it. And if not, then at least I hope you have fun. But I think you should be able to take something away. So let's go and enjoy. We're keeping Tainted Ale. You're a P at Gwent. Thank you very much. I don't think so, but glad you think so at least. Okay, so this is the old King of Beggar ability. We don't need you in. Hush back into the deck with you. Okay, we got all the burners here. I'm not sure if you need them right now. I kind of have too much hand buff. Yeah, I mean, this is very... We have 2 win conditions with this deck, and we kind of have them all over the place right now. And this is how it is. We don't want to draw into the Sentinels. And we need offensive... we need offensive plays. No, we need actually, it's the right word, no, right? Defensive and offensive plays? I'm thinking of playing Swordmaster here. If he kills it, he kills it.
Let us sing the song of steel.
Every game winning Gwent is so satisfying. I'm not sure, like some wins I'm like, yeah, well, but the wins which are really satisfying are the ones where you can play Shirru, Scorch, and like just burn them all. That's very satisfying to me. Or if you swarm the whole board and then just play double Yennefer or Talisman or something, that feels kinda the same way. Or if you go Skellige and go 30 points, okay, there's a lot of ways that Gwent wins feel satisfying. But I think I have some favorites. Where's my Waylay where I need it? I kind of want to kill this right away.
Looks like some light reading.
I mean, what do I do with this card? Don't want to use Tainted Ale in it. It will grow for sure. Do I saboteur something? I don't know. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. I think we just go Swarm, right? Maybe I boost this for a big finish right now. But maybe I need the 2 points, so maybe I go it onto Yevon. No, wait. No, I wanted to play this first. Yeah, now I lost the tick. Good job. That's how we're not doing it, typically. Losing points. But hey, welcome to streaming life, I guess. Where your mind is everywhere, but not at the game. Sleepy Links. At least he or she is a Jennifer portrait, so if he wins against me, I'm okay with that. Chose the right team here. He's playing court because of the purify most of the time, I guess, but oh well, lock is not too bad, I guess. It's still an elf, so I'm okay with that. What to do with you, Mrs. Seductress?
You annoy me.
Do we go for Aileron? No, you don't need right now. We can still wait. Let's leave it where it is. And next round we probably could go Yavin. If it doesn't kill anything, I Yavin the Seductress. I think that's a good plan. I'm still not sure what he plays, by the way. We could have the Battle Mage. The one with the free tribute if you play the beggars, the off the books thing. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to. So when does this boost? As soon as I play a card. So the deploy ability probably triggers after, right? So I kind of need to play an elf first. And then like this boost out of the way. So I'm probably one turn too late for Yavin. Also probably this counts as spell played as well. Let's see. Yeah, it does. Yeah, my Yavin is a bit too high now. I think you just play Ida and that's fine. I don't think you can kill it for it easily. There's my Aileron. So another question again is if this triggers before or after. Do you guys know? Like, if I play Yavin next round, like I would have 7 elves on the board, could I kill a Seductress, or would she boost to 8 before the deployability happens? I think she will boost before. But I'm not 100% sure. I mean, even that, then this would be a decent play. I mean, 13 points or 14 points. Question is just how much would you want to play. Don't want to overcommit here. I mean, you have a lot of good cards here.
Appeals can be filed within 7 years.
Damage goes first, then she boosts. Yep. Okay, that's perfect. So we kill her. And that's probably when he goes out, but that's fine because we want to play long run anyway. And I kind of don't want to Scorch now. Damage goes first, perfect. Okay, now we're 21 points ahead. If he doesn't pass, I would pass. Oh, 20. Oh, we actually have 2 more points ahead. So if he doesn't pass, I would pass. And I'm pretty sure he passes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we have the power to control rounds. If I draw into the Elven scenario, I'm tempted to go to push round 2. If I don't draw into the scenario, we may not do it. This we can play for sure because we have 8 cards, so it's actually pretty okay. Well, let's look for the scenario. Okay, we play the hand buff onto the board and to give him the extra edge and to get him out of free range, I guess. And I think we want to play a long round because we have so much removal with Shirru and Scorch that I would prefer him. First of all, I prefer Last Say, and second, I prefer him having big units.
Out of the kettle, into the cauldron.
So I think we pass. The more units, the more possibilities to Scorch. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have the deck here, but I'll create all the deck lists afterwards in the Discord channel. All of them, like also the one from last week. So.
catch up here.
Oops, my microphone. Tight look ransackers. I'm curious how this will work out now. I think Scorch can do some really good work here in the last round. I don't want to have this one. So we only have one redraw remaining. We could always draw into Rocket and Sentinel. The chance that we get one of those is 2/7, and that we get this is really hard. So I could lose this in a mulligan already. I probably don't want to do that. So we play without the scenario. We can still get some elves on the board with Waylay and with Venosil. Let's see. Let's see how this will turn out. Well, actually, I'm playing with him. Actually, I choose another leader. Sometimes I lock in a leader and I totally get a different leader. I hate it. The Passiflora Peaches.
Any diamonds for little old me?
So I don't care if they go big, right? Because we just kill them at some point. On the other hand, I could also just try to kill them now, before he staggers them. Or I just ignore them for real, and just go for big Scorch. If he plays Ewald, what is our answer? Ewald is Precision Strike plus Waylay, I guess. So.
May your sword and arm be one.
And if he plays all the Horde stuff, we just let it grow. Let it grow, let it grow. Can't hoard it back anymore. So that's what you get when I see Passiflora Peaches is start to sing. Okay. Adriano. So he's going for all these sweet engines.
Exploitation.
I mean, the Seductress, however, is something I want to waylay as well, I guess. I don't think I want to let that go as well. Yeah, so there we go. It's enough that we have those peaches. I mean, I could go for a 12 point Scorch right away by using those two. Wait. Wait, this is amazing, right? Like, those, all of those go to 6. I mean, that's too tempting. That's way too tempting, right? It's an 18 point Scorch. I can't, I somehow, like, I need to. They won't line up that good anymore. I think I need to do it, right? This is just way too tempting. Burn! I'm sorry. Now I feel a bit bad because I don't have my Scorch anymore. It's kind of like, ah. Well. Anyway, I think we need to line everything up with Shirru now. We can do that, hopefully. Connection lost. What is this madness? Scorch? I'm out of here. Is this a rage crit? Oh my god, probably it's a rage quit. Ah well, so Scorch won us the game again. I mean, I get it, like, getting all of your good stuff Scorched is kinda... doesn't feel too good. I mean, it feels really good for me right now. I scorched his internet out of game. I scorched his connection. Yeah, come on. Don't need to try this gun. There we go. In play. Ugh, I haven't seen Gankora ability in a long time. How does it look when everything does it? Does it just damn? Or does he also I know he will do this, but... yeah, we don't need this one. Thanks for the follow, Di Danito. Thank you very much appreciated, and welcome to the channel. I don't need Blue Mountain Elite. Do I? Don't need the Sentinels. Well, I mean, we have people. We start this round. I'm not sure. I mean, Shirru may come handy. I think we actually want to boost the Wardens. I mean, what we want to play for sure is Swordmaster.
May your sword and arm be
I'm not sure
one.
if he wants to kill it right away, but Swordmaster is pretty decent because he can set up a Shirru. I'm not sure what deck he's playing. If he's playing some giant thing deck, or if he plays some full Thrive, or something completely different. It currently looks like Thrive. I can just waylay this. The thing is, if I waylay this, of course, what will happen is that I create 3-point units. So we need to think of what we want to do and when we want to do it. Do we want to go Vernosia, or do we want to wait until we play a scenario with her? Later, of course. Do we want to Shirru? We could also just let this grow to 3 and just Shirru them. Or do we just go full on them? I mean, we have so many frees. I don't want to use Wardens in here. Let's see. We can still use Wardens the next round onto this. Don't have another waylay though. So we may want to boost this one. Oh, don't kill my Wardens. So we got a lot of 2s. They will grow to 3. The thing is, if we... but this is not free, so we won't get that much value out of it. I think we just play more 3s. When do we feign death? I mean, with Scorch, we want to play it probably around 3. If we play it now, we just use a lot of value just to get ahead. Which is fine as well, kinda. I don't like it too much.
This is elven land, dwarf, upon which your kind dies.
Okay, there we go. Next round we get a waylay to kill the Drana. There's just so much tempo. It's like overcommitting real hard here. But on the other hand, like, really need to win round 1 for Scorch Shirru to work. So Drive will line up units for you. No, I'm playing Scorch actually. So if he plays a giant, like, you have a problem, I can't just ignore it. But theoretically, yes. I mean, that's amazing.
They can hide, but there is no escape.
I think he just waylaid the Drana.
This is elven
Yes,
land.
this is so much tempo, it's
upon
like,
which your
it's
kind
insane. We
dies.
probably pass now. If he doesn't pass now, we pass. I mean, he will pass for sure. I mean, why would he not pass here? It's 26 points and 3 cards. That's very high commit. I mean, he could of course play cards like Yikren and stuff. But on the other hand, then we got the cards out of him. Oh god, he plays into this. Make the math with me. 30 points. He plays Yikren. All of this Thrive. So Yikren becomes a 16-point play. Which means a 25. Which means if he has Yikren and another card, he makes it. This is too overcommittal. If you go hand buff right now, we have bonus for next round, and we're going to see if he can make it actually.
You like
We go for Water Insert to enable the ability. And we pass. And now let's see. How much... If he actually wants to play on, because it's getting dangerous. Okay, equals this one. Okay, Yikren is now a 15-point play, which is exactly 31. And then he gets the organic chorus fruit. So if you can again, he would make it. Ah, shit. I kind of don't want to give it to him. It's very likely that he has Yikurin. But what if not? What if he doesn't have it? When Ossiel is also pretty decent right now. But we're on blue. Shit. This is... Let's see if he plays the 13-point unit. If he plays it, he gets the round. It's Spear Tip? Is it enough? No, it's not. Nice. Okay, we get the card. Perfect. The only way you could do it was with a 13... Actually, with this one with a 12-point card. So... Yeah, 12 points. Like, he needs to play at least 12 points, so we're fine. Okay, he actually goes 2 cards down, which is dangerous, because against Scorch, we have a lot of reactive cards, and we have a handcraft Vordancer. So this is 8 points already. I like it. It's not bad. Yikurin 17. He had 3 5 units. So it's 16. Oh, did I miss the 5 unit? Madahuri will give us Scorch, which is cool, which I need against Osrel. Including the fruit. Yeah, I thought I had already included the fruit. Maybe I miscalculated. I don't want to... Wait, what happened? What do I just put this if he dry passes? Other than that, this is not a bad hand. Van Osrel is just a 11-point card because I use her as a melee. On a melee runner. Play your fruit, of course. Wait! I'm 2 cards up. No, I'm 1 card up and he goes... I mean, yeah, you can do that. Like, he thinks that I can't do anything about his big push, I guess. Yeah, that's what he thinks. Like, I can't do anything about it. So, a question for me here is now... How do we do it? Do I play Matahuri right now to draw into Scorch and have it as... to play it here? If I play Matahuri and he passes, then I miss 5 points, which I can easily do. Obviously it's not as good as playing this in on free, but I get my Scorch now. And if he goes... I mean, he can still eat the Spear Chip, but he only has Osrel available. So I think Scorch is a good thing to have here, because if he plays another Osrel or something, that's where my Scorch comes in handy. That's not bad. So this is where you could get only 1 card back though. Do I play War Dancer here? I guess this is the play where I play Officer if he has another one of those. Play low committal here, don't give him too much points on my side if he wants to do any shenanigans. Don't think Shirru will, or maybe Shirru will actually find some targets here. Now I'm missing my archers. If this grow to 3, I'll probably just go Shirru. I can even hit this down to 3, then it's trades with my officer. Maybe we can even use Ide on him to get him out of range. Should I do this right now, maybe? But he can... well, if he kills it, he kills it. Let's get this out of Shirru range. And if those go to 3, we Shirru the hell out of him. Maybe even Shirru the goal. Because we use War Dance and we could still use Precision Strike. So maybe we can clear his board if we do good, we can clear his board. Shirru is more powerful than Scorch, in my opinion, actually. Don't get this to 3. Don't do this to me. So next round we need to Shirru, probably need to Ida. So probably Ida will be hit, I mean.
Watch and learn.
That's, I mean, this is what it is. We're now, by the way, 2 cards up. I think he's in trouble, because Shirru will do work. He actually eats my free. That's actually pretty okay. I like it. I mean, I can't kill this one. But I can Shirru. No. Look at this Shirru. Kills 4. So it's 12-point Shirru. How it burns. So no Thrive units for you anymore. And you don't have much in the graveyard. Only 9 points. Whatever. Spare chip. Still have Rhinoceral and Tainted Ale. Yeah, okay, here comes the big guns. But still. I'm at 2 cards up, and 2 cards up, this is amazing. Sure, if you thrive, I can actually kill you with Scorch as well. As long as you kind of go higher than this, which you probably won't do. Let's get the 11 right. This is kind of too much right now, we could have gone with Ale. But now he's probably passing. So we have those still for on 3. He's playing it. Oh my god, he's actually playing. If this we could play no unit, right? In round 2. And then whatever. It's actually funny because we have like 2 more cards than he does. So if we play Eisengrim now and keep Tainted Ale. I mean, it depends like how much no unit we can play. Yeah, there we go. There's the victory. Nice. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And if you have some thoughts or some comments, there's a comment function of YouTube. You all know it. Put your comments there. I'll reply. I try to reply to all of the comments. So I hope you have a good day and, well, see you next time.